Hi, welcome to In Question, a program brought to you by TV Cogeco and the Parry Sound North Star. My name is Jack Tynan. I'm your host and editor of the Parry Sound North Star. And today we're going to chat about an issue that's been making headlines and drawing audiences in the Parry Sound area. And that's a process launched by the New North District School Board to look at the possibility of closing and consolidating schools. My guests today are Phil Geden, who is, welcome Phil, Strategic Renewal Officer with the New North District School Board, who's kind of leading this process. And my other guest is Bill Spinney. Welcome, Bill.
Hi.
He's the General Manager of the Community Business and Development Center and a member of the committee that's been put together by the Near North Board to look at this process. And we're going to start with you, Mr. Geden, to talk about this process and how it works. Basically, correct me if I'm wrong, but to do a quick summary, the Near North Board faces some fairly significant financial problems based on a combination of dropping enrollment because the province disperses money based on the number of students.
Exactly.
And the quality of buildings that are starting to fall apart. Yeah. How serious is this predicament for the New North Board? How serious a financial shortfall are they facing?
It's going to be extremely serious, Jack, as time goes on. This is what the board is afraid of. We've been losing approximately 300 students per year for the last 5 years, which is the size of a good-sized elementary school. We have 43 buildings. We haven't closed or consolidated anything over that period of time. So the problem lies with the fact that we don't have enough funding from the Ministry of Education to adequately repair those schools. They're all aging. Most of them are aging anyway. The infrastructure is decaying, as you've already said. And this is our main problem, is we can't see where this money is going to come from to support all 43 buildings. Now, even if we manage to close several of them, we're still going to have financial problems. I'm not trying to minimize that, but we will be able to at least concentrate what limited resources we have on a smaller number of buildings.
So this isn't a Parry Sound problem then? This is a board-wide problem?
It is indeed a board-wide problem, for sure.
When we say financial shortfalls, how much of a shortfall are we talking? I mean, I guess if we're at the point of talking about closing, consolidating schools, it means a lot of other options have already been explored. How big a shortfall is it, and how pressing is that need to find a solution?
I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I believe I seem to recall something in the region of $4 million to put schools to I'm not sure if it's 4 or not, but it's around 4 to put it into the condition they need to be put into, and the amount that we get is nowhere near that. Again, I don't know the exact quantity of money that's coming in on an annual basis, but it's nowhere approaching that amount at all.
I think one school board administrator had said that according to a Ministry of Education survey of the buildings, to fix all buildings in the Near North Board was going to cost millions and millions of dollars. I think it approached the $100 million mark.
Across the whole board, of course it would, yeah.
So now we'll chat about the process that was launched by the board. It's the committee here in Parry Sound is called the Accommodation Review Committee.
That's correct.
And the initial mandate of that committee was to look at closing one of 4 schools in the Parry Sound area, that being Victory School, William Beatty School, both in Parry Sound, Nobel School, and McDougall School.
That's correct.
And look at a plan or suggestion as to how those students would be moved throughout the 3 existing schools. And then I guess the second part of that mandate was, if you don't do that, provide a recommendation as to how the board can save money.
That's exactly correct.
How's this committee work?
Okay, it's made up of, first of all, it's made up of parent reps from the school councils of the 4 schools concerned. It has community/business representatives. Bill's one of those on this particular accommodation review committee. It has a staff member on it to represent the interests of teachers and other staff, support staff. It has a principal for administrative input and a supervisory officer and me, who my role is just to ensure consistency across the board. And you're perfectly right. It's a committee of the board, and it doesn't decide on anything. It makes recommendations. Its role is to take input from the public, hear the public's opinion, make the recommendation based on what it hears from the public back to the board. But the board is the group that makes the decision, the elected trustees. So basically, over the last 3 months, and we go for another month yet, till the end of March, we are conducting a minimum of 4 public meetings at which the public has an opportunity to make their case for keeping the schools open, closing one over the other or whatever they wish to do. We're hearing all kinds of things from the public as we go through this.
One thing we are hearing from time to time is a concern that this committee does make a decision. But you say it just makes a recommendation to the board. On the other hand, if this committee, and you're welcome to add any time you like, Bill. On the other hand, if this committee doesn't make a recommendation to the board for whatever reason, maybe there's too much public input and it's difficult to make that decision, I guess that leaves the local decision in board hands. That might be the concern.
If I can, Jack, the initiative has been to garner as much public opinion as we possibly can and reach a consensus within the ARC, the Accommodation Review Committee, to come up with a recommendation to provide to the board. I don't see, and I'm only speaking as myself at this point in time, I haven't, in the deliberations the ARC has gone through, I don't see us coming to the board with no recommendation. There will be a recommendation. We're putting scenarios out to the public as we speak to garner more input onto a best course, basically for student programming and for the kids. What's the best thing we can do for the kids, recognizing the economic constraints that the whole program is operating under in Ontario right now, and specifically in West Parry Sound.